Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, underdressed but overprepared today because we have a guest. And I can't tell you how excited I am because this guy promises to blow the fucking doors off of this interview. But let's not tempt fate so far. But first, today we welcome an accomplished live performer and esteemed battle rapper. He is a man with over a decade of experience performing for a whole host of promotions, both abroad and in the UK. He is a man with a fixation, nay an obsession, with people switching on kitchen appliances for him despite their inherent convenience. He's got over 40 battles to his name, a penchant for quick replies, sharp delivery, and is renowned for his ability to turn around classic performances in short notice. And he will not rest until his hashtag becomes a full-fledged Hollywood franchise. He is the reigning, defending, undisputed, don't flop UK battle rap champion. It's the lyrical leviathan, Quill. How are we doing, sir?
Wow, you know what? Yeah, that is definitely the best intro I've ever had. That was a whole round. That was a round that you just did there. You know that. I don't know if I can live up to that, but yes, what an intro. Yeah, I'm good. I can't not be good after that. Thank you for that.
You're more than welcome. Well, you're a champ, and we treat champs with the esteem that they are offered on this show. But we have to just cut to chase here. The reason you're here,
Right.
and the reason I so desperately want to talk to you. I was at a performance recently. I left my house for the first time in maybe 10 years. Went to a battle rap event, my first one. As a lapsed fan, I didn't know what to expect. Wasn't really sure who'd be there and what kind of performances would hit and miss, whether or not the crowd would be into it. And then a young man by the name of Quill takes the stage. And by the way, this is about 10-15 minutes before his performance even hits, and he goes, "How are we all doing? Are we here?" And the crowd's like, whoa, what's going on here? Who's this guy? And he takes the stage, absolutely kills his performance, but afterwards, save the best for last. Talk to me about that promo, talk to me about that event, and talk to me about that performance in your eyes. What did it mean to you, and what are your prevailing memories of it?
It just went well, man. Like performing in like a big crowd like that is like it allows me to be a bit more electric. That's where I get to kind of really shine. But it was, it's like, people kind of always talk about, oh, we want the old days back, and like that's it there. We got it here. It's right there in front of you. That's it. We got it now. So it's just about enjoying that moment. It's about creating storylines as well. Lucky enough, was able to draw out Shotty and the crowd loved it, and it kind of sets up what I've been aiming to set up the whole time, which is Don't Flop vs Premier Battle. So it kind of helps extra with that. The promo is just trying to make storylines, make it exciting. We need to we need for this to be bigger than it was before. We need to excel in all areas, and I think where I've excelled as a battle rapper recently is understanding the entertainment aspect of it. That's why my performance is really just fucking rocketed away, and I think just learning to carry that outside of the battle rap as well. So everyone knows it's all fun and games at the end of the day, but we're trying to play this kind of, we're trying to make the story, make it more fun for everyone and make it bigger. And everyone's really playing their role at the moment. So it's really exciting times, man. Really, really exciting times for what's ahead,
Talk to me about what's going through your mind in that moment where you've hooked Shotty, and the crowd is all of a sudden, whoa, what's going on? And it's mid-performance, and I know the adrenaline's going, and you've still, you're trying to balance the crowd, you're trying to balance the energy that you're bringing on stage, you're trying to balance everybody on. And I remember that stage was more packed than it was for the main event. Like, people were kind of in on that energy. Do you know what I mean? It was a real electricity on that stage in that moment. So is it elation in that moment, or are you still too fixated on the battle itself and the performance and the crowd? Talk to me what's going through your head in that moment.
When he came out, it was kind of like, because even though I'm going at him, I wasn't expecting it to play out like that. He really played his role in it. So when he come out, you're just kind of trying to think on your toes, keep composure as well, keep the performance objective as well. So it's kind of let him have his say, absorb it, wait for the crowd to kind of almost settle down, have my little say, then get back into my rapping, say my bar at him, and then get back to visuals kind of thing, But yeah, it was just, it couldn't have gone better than planned, to be honest with you. So yeah. and then obviously in the second round you got my trademark is I like to, like I said about with the performance, really push the boundaries of what performance is, and like when you kind of push the boundaries and it pulls off, it's just more of a relief, because it's just about testing yourself,
100%, 100%. And when you're so the interesting thing that you've touched on there is the Premier Battles versus don't flop mentality, because I would argue for a long time that's been in the mind of the fans. It's been in the mind of the casual public who even have a peripheral understanding of what battle rap is. But there's a trepidation. There's a balance. There's a bit of a back and forth where it's like we don't want to acknowledge them too much. We don't want to give them too much credit, but we also don't want to diminish them because of the scene. And then you come along and say, what are we doing here, guys? We are sitting on a potential civil war level event. Set it off, man. So
yeah, man.
What prompts you to think like that in a sea of people that would probably be quite happy to keep the status quo of things, because the mentality seems to be, well, we can't go back, so why even bother? Where do you part company in that sense?
For me, it's more like I was always I did my own thing, so I was always performing for like both leagues. But then when I got the opportunity to like battle for the Don't Flop title, it was like, right, what do I do differently? I don't just want the title for the sake of it, and not just to have title matches. So it's like, what I need to have a purpose for this. So it's kind of like, okay, I can use this as a tool to make the UK scene bigger if I play my cards right, and rather than trying to go at Premier Battles in a aggressive way, it's like, how do we build bridges? So how do we use it to build bridges? And then, I mean, there's still a long way to go, but it's kind of looking like it's kind of on the right path. It's just about, there's still quite a few talents out there that haven't battled too many times for Premier Battle, so it's sellable for them to be a don't flop battler. And there's big names like Shuffle T, Crafty, could even have Gemini or not. It's, you got myself, there's people I'm missing off the list. I'm just freestyling, so you can actually have a really big event and it'll be beneficial for everybody. And it's just what the fans, as soon as it was I put it out there, before I had the title, I was like, if I have to get this title, I'm going to go for it. And everyone kind of was like speaking highly of it. The younger battlers want it because it's just healthy for everyone. So, and you know what, the Shotty's kind of almost playing a role in the sense, when he jumped in my battle, as if to say, you know what, maybe we can make this happen. So it's just exciting times for everyone, isn't it?
In your role as champion, then, because you touched on something very interesting, and I appreciate you saying it. As far as your role as not an ambassador, that's too diplomatic, and I would never describe you as diplomatic. What I would say though is you are conscious of the role that a champion plays in a promotion. You're there to show what the card and what the promotion can do, and I'm telling you, that battle displayed all of your best traits, from the theatricality within the performance to also the willingness to incorporate the crowd in you created a moment, man. Like, legitimately, I remember a lot of things from that event, but that moment where Shotty sort of he has his little Jack Nicholson moment, but then he can't, he knows what he can stands and he can't stands no more, and he sort of takes center stage. People were genuinely like, wait, what does this mean? So I guess my question is, how much of that is part of your role as champion, or is that just something as a performer that you're choosing now to embody more and more because you are so cognizant of your role? You're not the promotion, but you are a performer with their own brand and with their own identity. So you're doing your best to promote yourself, and by function, the promotion.
Yeah, I think, you know what it is, like, for a long time, like when Don't Flop was at its height and stuff, I'm doing it to try to be the best. And then, it kind of failed, and then I'm trying to like experiment and stuff. And then I kind of just hit a new level in my performance. And then from there it become like, okay, like how can I take this like art form into a different direction? And then, like I said, as soon as I kind of felt like I was different level entertainment wise, and I knew that I could possibly get the title, then it's kind of like, okay, like I kind of like can have my own fun with this. Like, what can I do with this? I don't want to just take the title to have a title match. I want to take the title to make, make things bigger. Like don't flop big. Otherwise, what am I doing? Like, because Crafty was a very good champion and he battled good people for the title, but it wasn't
But
being spoken
then you
about.
get this guy who literally takes a hostage.
Yeah.
How can you not give him the title when he's got a gun to the guy's head, figuratively, but he's got a gun to a fan's head? Like, you've got to give him the title, which was, again, that's a moment, man. That's a thing that people who are there and people who see that are going to go, that's not leaving me anytime soon. That's a moment, man. And you've had a sequence of those over the last sort of 2 or 3 years where people are like, do you know what? Yeah, quit. Do you know what? Every time he turns up, he gives us something. And it's not just a solid performance. It's not just lyrical dynamicism. And like you said, the old school mentality of I have to have the hardest bars and I have to make the guy feel like shit. It's no, these guys paying for the tickets. I want them to come back. How do I do that? And you seem to
Yeah.
be putting that at the forefront of your performances at the moment. And I just wondered, like, what goes into that? Like, is there a way that you think about hooking people in, or do you just go off your own innate
Yeah.
theatricality?
Well, at the beginning, like it happened when like I was meant to battle. Well, no, I battled Lazy Ass Jack, and I was doing some bars, and I was like, I'm gonna as I'm spitting my bars, I'm gonna go to the crowd on the side and rap it to them, kind of thing. Like no one's really doing that, so I kind of did it to them. You see the reactions of the crowd; they're like, oh my god, like they're like, oh my god, like the way I was doing it. And I was like, oh, these guys are really. These lot couldn't believe that I was rapping to them. You know what I mean? They just come to see the battle, but I'm there rapping, touching them, like they couldn't believe it. So I was like, okay. Then we had the Georgie Roots one, and obviously I performed on my own. So it's like, and I pulled it off, man. And with the costume, the cue from James Bond, so that my confidence was then on a super high. So it's like, okay, I don't need an opponent to perform. Like if I'm just like, owning the gaff. So so I did the Moke one, right, where it's like I dressed up as the guy with the shovel, and then I jump into the crowd. So I was like, how can I've been in the crowd, like how can I get, so we do the thing for me to get in the crowd. And then next part I was like, cool, I've been in the crowd, how do I now get the crowd into the battle? You know what I mean? So then we get the hostage. So it's just kind of like just trying to figure out different ways of like doing this art form. So, and then obviously visual, because he used to be a magician or whatever, no one's really gone at that angle, but it gave me a chance to do magic in a battle, which is just ridiculous. But yeah, it's just about trying to find different ways how to interact with fans and give them something they've never seen before, because
100%.
that's the like, obviously fans can't say different things, but I think I get the most pride when people come up to me and be like, yo man, I've never seen anything like that before, and it's in a positive way. So yeah.
100%, 100%. And me and my buddy who were there that day, again, I didn't mean to speak disparagingly of anybody when I said, because this is the thing about battle rap, you don't want to be seen to be putting someone down in order to elevate someone. You want to give everyone their flowers, as it were. But it's that thing of, that was the thing. And then, like I said, to come home and then to see that interview afterwards, where by the way, just a editorial sidebar, terrified this interview was going to go off the rails after about 30 seconds, because this guy likes taking over interviews, and he does them very well. He does them better than me, but you took over the interview, and there was nothing or anyone that wasn't spared your sort of critique, which is, come on, look, it could be back. We have everyone and everything we need. We now have two promotions that could easily co-promote if they really can get on the same page. But if they can't, okay, at least create some animosity so that fans they start to, yeah, man, I'm Team PB, I'm Team Don't Flop, and it starts generating a scene and a culture that people want to be a part of again, which is what I think was so critical to battle rap's success in the mid 2010s. It was just a cool culture. It was just oh man, it's like, it's reclusive and it's secretive, and you can't, not just anyone can walk up to it, so it made you want to get in, you know what I mean? And it sort of, for whatever reason, that dissipated over time. And I don't know how you feel about that analysis, but like, I know you've
Yeah,
got your
but
own thoughts on where we are now.
it is back though. That's the thing. Like, when's this going out? This video.
The second you give me the thumbs up to say I've made you look cool enough.
All right, sweet. So Like it is back. Look, for example, look at that event we just had, right? And then look at this Saturday, we've got Raptor versus Koj, which is an insane battle. So if you're in Manchester, get your tickets. There's like 40 left or something like that, 20 left, I don't know. So get your tickets for that. And then in April 1st in London, we got the next match day where we got Koj versus Gemini, which is insane. We got my boys from the Mandrill mob, Archaic and Unanimous, like just gonna tear down the fucking building. I promise you that. Scoop, who's on the card, who's gonna lose to Archaic, but I'm sure he's gonna be crazy. All these newcomers, like fresh crop newcomers, Reverse, Crow, all these guys. Like, so it is back, but we just have to also put in the work. We have to buy our tickets. We have to go. We have to bring a friend. We have to be on point with the media. We have to be on point with the battling, the promotion, everything. But it is here, like. It's here. Just keep putting that work in, and we'll see the rewards. It's just the views. It's just not the same YouTube views. So people, but everything else is here, man.
100%, 100%.
It's go time.
And this is the thing. I had this discussion with Bison specifically because, I know he's quite keen as a promoter to try and get things moving in the right direction again. And like I say, it just seems to me like it's I can't quite put my finger on it, but that's for the general scene. Again, for you personally, I know that there's a lot that goes into your battles, there's a lot that goes into your performances, but one of the questions I wanted to ask you was outside of battle rap now, because again, you kind of hit on the promotion element. Like the battle's the product, okay? We're putting it on, we sell the ticket, but right, what else are we offering? In an age where social media is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Instagram models up the asshole, fucking 24-hour streams on Twitch, all the rest of it. How do you see yourself setting yourself apart from everybody else's style of promotion? Or is it in your performances that you're really looking to hook people and then maintain that sort of persona and mystique outside of your performances? I mean, how do you feel like you're approaching it?
Well, the thing is that I'm kind of like the face of Don't Flop, and that's probably perceived as the enemy anyway, right? So I guess it's I got my villain mask on, do you know what I'm saying? But it's only a mask, so it'll come on when the time's right. I'm relaxed right now, but if I get surrounded by too many of these Premier Battle jabronis, then it comes on, do you know what I mean? And then I'll start taking them out. But yeah, man, it's just I don't know. I think I've got a big role to play, if it's looking like me and Gemini are gonna go for the Don't Flop title, so that's gonna be a huge battle, and then it just sets everything up nicely, whatever happens, it just sets the scene off in a good place. I was almost like, obviously I'm gonna be going for my things. I've got some big things lined up, but it feels like even like if the worst case happened, it's like I would have done my job. As long as I turn up, I would have done my job, man, and it's gonna be in a healthy place. So that's just how I feel, man.
Talk to me
but you know what it is. When like me and Jem is gonna have a fun promo, because the promo for me and Jem will be good, because we you put us in a room together, we're arguing about who's better, and we're trying to chill here. Me and Jem are at each other's necks, so that'll be fun. But then after that, when it's Premier Battles versus Don't Flop, boy, there's gonna be big budget spent on the fucking banter. That's all I'm saying.
Damn right. And I can personally attest. I made a passing comment as I was leaving the event. Gemini is too sharp and mean. He's mean.
He's a mean boy. He's very mean.
I just said something about one of the performances, and he put me in my fucking. And I probably outweigh him by about 10 stone. And he had a sprained ankle, broken ankle. Can't remember. But I was still afraid for my life. So. Yeah, that's I can imagine that back and forth being particularly visceral, but entertaining as fuck. So I do look forward to seeing that. But my question was going to be, considering how much skin you've got in the game as far as battle rap is concerned, what does it mean to you? Because you've been performing over 10 years, and that's a significant period of time to do something that I would argue, even though you've gained some notoriety, I'm sure you've had plenty of good times. That prep time by yourself, the traveling to the events, the anxiety before an event, and performing on a stage in front of people who are just on you. What does it mean to you, man?
What it is? It's like our community, man. Like these people that I see at events and stuff, man. Like they're all great people, and we share like a common hobby and stuff. And like if I can turn up and if I can, like, people are putting in the work for this scene, you know what I mean? So if I can do my little bit and help the scene, help this journey keep going and help good memories and good stories keep going, you know, and at the same time get to show off my artwork, which is my passion, you know, what I'm passionate about, and also, you know, learning from these, like, the most talented people in this UK battle rap scene, the most talented people, like learning from all these beautiful people, being around these beautiful people, like just making the scene bigger is like, you know, it's like a plus side for me, you know, when I'm performing. Do you get what I'm saying? So if I can do well, then everyone does well. Do you get what I'm saying? And everyone's playing their role, man. People, you know, there's how many people are helping to make this scene thrive at the moment, you know. So yeah, that's the place I'm in at the moment. You know, it's like a journey. It's like, you know, like a life journey. You know, you start, like I said, you start off in the beginning just trying to be the best, and then, you know, you go through all these journeys. And I've been in the game for a long time now. And for me, it's just kind of like more in my meditation place, and although I'm more aggressive than ever. But yeah.
You've learned to channel it, and you've learned to harness it a little bit more in a focus. I can definitely tell, having gone through your sort of your catalogue of battles, and again seen some of your more recent performances, there is definitely an ebb and flow. But again, that comes from experience. I would wager that's you've built a knowledge of the psychology of how to manipulate a crowd, how to really make your punches land as best as possible, when to be theatrical or when to kind of go in on an opponent. At least I would garner from that, because again, 10 years, man. Like, I don't know if I've been doing anything 10 years. I think I've been fat for 10 years, but that's not really a hobby or a lifestyle. That's just, you know, that's just persistence. But like 10 years, man. Tell me, like, there must have been times where, you know, the elation, the highs, the lows, the in-betweens, where you've got to just take stock and go, wow, man, like, if it wasn't for this one moment on this forum or in this live event where I saw something or did something, like, I'd have never gotten into this, and I'd have never had all this stuff. And you must look back and go, and now you're on the precipice, like you say, you're on the precipice of something, hopefully another boom, another thing where it's like, man, that's what we had, but this is what we could have. Like, we've got social media now, we've got millions of channels, we've got tons of people that know how to promote themselves. We've got promoters that are hopefully looking to try and make the most of this now, knowing what's possible. That must be an exciting time for you.
Yeah, man, like just doing this is exciting because we need people like you, man, doing like this media, like, you know, the podcast I'm doing with Don Flop, that'll be out soon. Like, I'm having a few shots. Like, there's not enough media covering what we're doing, although what we do have is good. But it's just, we have, like I said, we have to attack this like full on, man. Everyone has to go at it, man. But yeah, like you're saying, yeah, things can go wrong, stuff like that. That's why I always say to like the newcomers, you know, everything happens for a reason, man. Like, you can have battles cancelled. Look at Koja and Gemini, man. It sucks, you know, you have it cancelled. But on the bright side, look, match day 2, April 1st. Get your tickets now. Like, we get to have them headlining another big event. So these things happen for a reason, man. And like, exciting times for us right now, man.
I'm gonna quit freestyling for a second. I'm going to go to my writtens, and I'm going to say, when I think of good physiques or weird body types, I think of Kenny Omega. When I think of musical brilliance, of course, I think the Cheeky Girls. But when it comes to creative inspiration, that's a much trickier and complex question. So I thought I'd ask, who inspires you, or how do you find inspiration for an art form where cultural references, where you've got so many people that are trying to come up with their own lines, bars, punches, and where originality is a prerequisite. It's not something where it's like, oh, he's original. Oh, good for him. It's, hang on, I heard that one. Boo. How do you stay motivated, and how do you stay inspired, or how do you inspire yourself?
There's just always new things, man. There's always new things. So you can always have new bars, new ways to say things. But yeah, like I said, just recently, it's just been performance-wise. I've realized that's more my motivation, is that I've realized that performance-wise, you can do so much more than I could imagine, and no one's really been doing it like that. So I don't know what's around the corner, but it's exciting me knowing that at the moment my writing is like, I'm almost like writing now to go to my performance, like to match for my performance, which is, it's kind of like a new kind of style. No one's really, I mean, people do it a little bit, but not to the extent I'm doing it, really. So that gets exciting for me. Movies, I like movies when I see certain scenes and stuff. I'm like, I really want to kind of paint the picture of this scene in the movie, or this, this any some sort of artwork or something, it kind of inspires me. But yeah, like I say, even just the people in our scene, the UK scene, inspire me, and anything really, man. Yeah.
I feel like I gotta ask you a question to let you cut loose a little bit here. This is docile core. This is I am in far too much control here. I need to give up a bit of control. I need to give you some license to go a little bit go for it a little bit here.
What am I the interviewer now? Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can. I mean, no. I was actually, one of my questions was going to be. Apparently, you get bored easily. So, what apart from this conversation, what's the most bored you've ever been in your entire life? I mean, I feel like I can answer because I am a boring person. That's. But you are welcome to ask me any questions. Yes.
Nah.
To whatever you want to ask.
Are we going to win the league?
That is. Wow.
It's on record now.
That is a very difficult question to answer because I do appreciate. Right, Arsenal fans, I love each and every one of you. You're beautiful little snowflakes, but you are the most fucking fickle bunch of bastards, and I can't stand you sometimes. I love you all, but you're fickle. Sambi, I love you. I don't care if the fan base don't like you no more. I love you. Come back from Palace once you trained under Vieira, and you'll be a world-class centre midfielder. I don't want to hear from anybody else. But they'd have sent Eddie. They'd have sold Eddie last. They'd have let him go on a free. Oh, he's rubbish. He's not good enough to play for us. Bang! 6 goals, 5 games. Get the fuck out of here, all of you. Will we win the league? I really hope so, because next year it's the Money Olympics, and it'll be the Money Olympics from there on in. You know what I mean? What do you reckon?
No, sorry, it's my interview, mate. Don't.
Oh wow. Okay.
You can get back to your questions.
Oh, there it goes. Oh, so he's had his fun, and then he throws it back to me. Well, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Because one of my questions was about football, but it was a cheeky question, which is 5-a-side, Henry or Ian Wright. But bear in mind, you do have to go to the pub afterwards, so it's not enough just to pick Henry because you'll win. You've got to have a beer with Wrighty, surely. So who do you pick?
None of them. I'll pick Dennis Bergkamp, bro.
My guy.
Dennis Bergkamp. Are you dumb? Straight. And then we go for a beer after. Somewhere local, not flying far yet.
Yeah. See, deep cut. We've got a proper Arsenal fan here. Remembers what is the non-flying. I love that. That's very, very good. Well, I mean, in terms of like out and out, I do appreciate like asking him questions would be fun, but I think he was too talented to really tell you about any of that stuff. He just did it. Whereas Henri would tell you in agonising detail. Yeah, when I flicked it over my shoulder and clipped it over Barthez, I weighted the ball with about 30% angle and power. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Bergkamp was just like, that's just what I do. Like, what do you want from me? Like,
Henri was different. Henri was different, man. But Ian Wright's the uncle, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like,
do you reckon you could have a good conversation, or do you reckon you'd be in awe of him and just like, oh man, it's just a pleasure to be with you?
No, I'll be shaking, mate. I'll be shaking in my boots, boy.
If you could, then let me ask you a more battle rap oriented question with regards to your theatricality and like the production, or whatever you would want to bring to life on stage. Is there anything that you think you can realize as far as part of your performances? You just haven't realized it yet. I mean, not giving it away specifically. Avatar 2. Sorry, he did tell me before the podcast he wants to do an Avatar 2 rendition on stage. Sorry. $1 billion project, obviously.
Not really. There's so much I could do with a 2-1-2, which obviously I haven't really had the chance to do. But obviously, if there's a 2-1-2, it means like the possibilities are endless.
Was this the first 2-on-2 with Soul where I thought, do you know what, half of this stuff really does sound facetious. I know it's supposed to sound genuine, but just half of it was like, I swear he's saying this sarcastic. I know it's supposed to be tongue-in-cheek.
Soul's so good, man. Like when he returns as well. Like this is another thing for our scene. Like if we get these big players like returning, if we can get a Soul to return, I know he's not really wanting to at the moment, but if we can get him to return, my dog's just scratching. C Major, if we can get these people like to return, it'll just be amazing. Ogmios, like there's a lot that can happen at the moment.
100%. And Soul, you're right. So with the way Soul talks, you can tell he's got such a love for for rhyming, for lyricism, for the history and the heritage of it. But he genuinely has that Luke Skywalker Zen master feel where he's like, I don't have anything to prove to anybody or anything, so I don't really see
Yeah.
anything that really interests me. But that makes it interesting if you ever do get him back, because then you've got to go, well, what the hell has he got in mind, and what has he seen that makes him want to come back? So, I mean, is there any chance you could give him a nudge and say, listen, man,
Uh,
I have what you had. Do you feel like coming and taking it back?
I
Or
try to.
trying?
I'm always trying to lure Soul out. He's not wanting to battle rap at the moment. But everyone has their own life, isn't it? And also they look at battle rap differently as well.
Mm,
And plus to perform at Soul's level, man, it's exhausting, man. So I understand. But when he's ready, I'm sure he'll come back.
100%, 100%. I guess the other question I have for you, the last sort of deep cut question I would say about battle rap is, in terms of its potential, no one really knows where it could go. No one really knows, what's going to happen, because fuck me, COVID, worldwide crises left, right, and center. I'll just be glad if we wake up tomorrow and we've got electricity. But in an ideal world, what's the epitome of success for you in battle rap at this moment in time? Like, where do you see yourself where you go, right, fuck me, this is what I wanted all along, and it's now realized? Like, is there something in your mind, or is it like you just think sky's the limit?
The sky is the limit, but like for me personally, like I've made it clear, like if I can get if we can have this year and everything falls into plan and we sell out quite a few events and we get Don't Flop versus Premier Battles, I'll just ride off into the sunset and just cry my eyes out, mate. Like, because that'll be my biggest achievement. Like obviously it takes a load of factors for that to happen, but if that happened, that'll be like the biggest thing on my resume, man. Like to take it from that to that, like that's what I need to happen, and then the possibilities are endless for whoever was gonna do what next. Do you know what I'm
100%. 100%.
saying? Yeah.
Are sports fixed? What prompted that exchange?
There's
Dare
a
I
couple
ask?
there's a couple scripts right going about. Is sports fixed is a good question. A little bit, yeah, it is. I think.
What prompted it? Was there a particular event, or was there a particular game, match, sport that you're just looking at and going, bitch?
It's just some of them, like some of the sport, like they have control over it. Like I see some like obviously with VAR, like they have control over it, and you see these things like they can create a narrative, innit? Sometimes you see with basketball, like I see when LeBron's getting pushed at the end, and I'm like, these lot can see like literally on camera if they wanted to, but they want to keep control of the, even on an NFL, man. When I see like some of the decisions, yeah, it's like, yo, it's in every single sport, dude. Like, so maybe a little bit, yeah.
Interesting. I mean, the one that really opened my eyes was Sonny Francis, that kind of guy that made the rounds, I think, 2 or 3 years ago on every fucking podcast platform to say I'm the only mafia boss to get out alive, blah blah blah. And he said that American sports are the easiest to fix because you're not looking to win the game or lose the game, you're just looking to beat the spread. So all you need is a referee to deny 2 points here or there, and boom, you've made your money. And you go, well, that's not sports fixing in the sense because people don't win or lose. I'd say that's pretty close to fixing it if you don't. And the VAR thing is just funny at this point. Like, again, as an Arsenal fan, long suffering. I mean, you must have your opinions of. So they use rulers in the VAR room, do they? And they forget to draw lines occasionally, do they? Fabulous stuff. It's great. So how much do we spend on VAR? Oh, good. Money well spent then. Fabulous stuff. You must, again, as an Arsenal fan, it must be tremendously frustrating, as it is for most Arsenal fans.
Well, for I'm sure for most fans have had it. Like for me, it's like the officials need to be held accountable. Like why do they never be interviewed? They're never interviewed after the game or anything. Why are they never like explaining their decisions? Their face is just hidden. Like why they're getting paid a lot of money? I'm sure. Why didn't they make these decisions and they come out and answer why they made? Because some of the stuff is embarrassing, bro, and they get to hide. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It isn't great. And again, because that particular, I know that the guy who was in charge stepped down I mean, if that's a funny way of saying he was fired, but fine, whatever. He stepped down.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you've got like the handball decisions against us at the weekend, and the Bournemouth goal where the guy fucking sprinted halfway down the pitch before the ball was even kicked. You go, okay, that goal stands. Okay, fine. But you think, as an Arsenal fan, yeah, again, getting away from the question, sports vids, wouldn't it be fantastic if you win just on the face of that? They go, man, the script went round, and Arteta, I ain't reading it. Nah, I'm winning the games. I don't care. No,
Yeah.
Mikel, you're supposed to lose this game 2-0. Are we, though? I don't know. Let me have a quick word with Thomas. Partey's going to turn up for the first time all season and lash a ball in. Oh, okay. We're back in the game now, are we? All
Yeah, we
right.
like,
Go on, then.
yeah, we like these scripts.
Favourite Arsenal player at the moment, by chance?
Who? Maybe. I mean, you gotta love the kid Bukayo, isn't it? Really.
Starboy.
So.
Yeah. I hate the discussion around him at the moment as well. Like, does he need protecting? Well, he's only the 9th most fouled player in the league. Yeah, because he never gets fouls given against him. The poor sod keeps going. If he dived as much as Grealish was, he would be the most fouled player in the league.
He's a soldier, man. They're doubling up on him, man. He's a soldier.
They're kicking lumps out of him, and it's bad because you go, well, what's the worst that could happen? I don't know. Dele Alli? You want to see a fall off of a young, promising superstar? Okay,
Nah,
here, Dele Alli, and he didn't even get kicked.
Nah, he ain't got them Dele Alli issues, man. This kid's hungry, man.
He is.
This kid's at the top.
He's a good kid, and I look forward to. Again, I got to get to a game before the season ends. I have to be there. If we win the league, I have to go to at least one game. It's just got to be done. Has to be. A couple more questions, and then we'll let you get on with your evening.
Yes.
Your music career. So one of the things that I thought was interesting about you is a lot of battle rappers use battle rap as a platform to achieve other ends. For Shuffle T, I know that he's big on his comedic writing. For Shotty Horror, it was music. For Ogmios, I know he's doing some other stuff. Bison's doing some directorial stuff and some producing and whatnot. Do you see it as a platform for anything else, or are you just, no, I'm a battle rapper. That's what I do. That's what I love, and that's kind of that. Or is there something stewing that you're trying to get going?
Nah, I mean, I could have always released music and I just never did. I don't know what's wrong with me, man. Like, honestly, I really don't. I think I just enjoy battle rap, man. Like,
because I've seen you reels on Instagram where you do it over music from time to time, and it's great. And my curious is do you not see any artistic merit in it for you, or do you not feel yourself?
I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. I wish I did release more music. Maybe I will. I'm always saying that I will, and I don't. I've got music here, but I don't know, man. Nothing gets me like battle rap, man. Like, nothing gets me like battle rap.
The live performance element, the sort of the energy of a crowd and the reactions of it. Because again, this is the other thing I love about your performances, man. There is a certain antagonistic nature that it doesn't feel forced. It feels very visceral. It feels very. It's inescapable. Your opponents are visibly agitated, even if there's a degree of may the best man win. There's a lot of real energy in your performances that is just very, very. I imagine that's very difficult to replicate from a musical pretense. Being in a studio or recording a video over and over and over again, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's just the buzz that I get from it, man. Like, just like in front after a crowd, like the drug is just different, man. And I don't know, I'm just in a place at the moment where I'm focused on that, man. Like, I need to have a big year. So, but music might come out of it. This Gemini guy will probably end up making me fucking have to jump on a track, because he'll probably make one about me in a mug. So I'll probably have to put something out there. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows, man.
Who knows? And then I guess the big final question then, and you kind of alluded to it a couple of times during the conversation, is what big things do you see in your future, or what big things are you in the? I mean, obviously, PB versus Don't Flop. Obviously, that's got to be, and as the representative of Don't Flop, I would imagine you're probably, angling for a win for Don't Flop there. But I think, it's that thing of we just want to put on the biggest and best events that we possibly can, and get the scene going in the direction that you want it to be in, so that you can be that helm that kind of gets things over the line, rather than over the last couple of years where it has been a case of we just got to try and get the events together, we've got to try and get a good card together, we've got to give fans a reason to come back, because there's a million Laps fans, and I'm telling you how many there are that come out of the woodwork to me, and I'm like, you like battle rap? Yeah. Never fucking heard you talk about it. Well, just I never really know who to talk to about it. You need to try and make it a bit more prevalent in the conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like that's what I'm saying. Like people waiting for like something to happen, or it's not gonna be like it was before. It's here, man. We just got to do our bit now. Like, do you know what I mean? Look what Premier Battles have done over the last 2 years is incredible. Um, and it's just gonna if everyone keeps going on how they're going on, it's just gonna keep snowballing to get bigger and bigger. And who's to say that like we don't get a bigger explosion or a bigger income of new fans and views that we had before. Nothing's to say that. So let's keep going, man. And even in the moment now, like it's enough now. There's enough people, so we should be going high level now, enjoying it. Everyone going full throttle, media, full throttle, battlers, full throttle. Do you know what I mean? The fans, get your tickets, man. There's people watching this now that are free on the 1st of April. You haven't got your ticket yet. Come on, man. They're even cheaper now, early bird tickets, like until the other ones go on sale. Let's go, man.
I will say one thing about just my experience in the battle rap event. Y'all too nice, man. You gotta reel that shit in. You gotta be rock stars up in that motherfucker. You can't be shaking hands and saying it's a pleasure meeting you. You gotta pack that shit in. Y'all too nice. Tony D hugged me. What the fuck? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a pleasure meeting you all, but y'all were, honestly, it was a trip. So not only plus, y'all much bigger in person. I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but like y'all look normal sized on YouTube. You on stage, fucking massive. Marlo's about 7 foot tall. So Shuffle T. Shotty's, he's still got them lockdown gains for some reason, even though he's not been training for 6 months. He said, liar. But y'all too nice. Like y'all need to, next time a fan comes up to you and tries to shake your hand, slap that shit away. Tell him to get fucked. I'm a rock star.
What he says, until someone says differently, until someone says that your rounds are whack, and then it gets. No, I'm joking. No, it's fine. Everyone's in good mood, man. Yeah, like Tony D is a lovely guy. Do you know what I mean? You might, if you're a fan, you might be intimidated because he's been in.
He's all right, isn't he? He doesn't like Steven Seagal that much, but he's all right.
Oh yeah, he's a lovely guy. So everyone's welcome at these events, man. Everyone's gonna have a great time if you come to these events. Women, man, you can meet them. Like, I'm so excited for match day 2, man. If we can sell it out or get it at least close, it's just another step forward, man. And then we go again for the next event. Do you know what I mean? Big up Trubs, who's putting on the London from Wiretap and Premier Battles, man. It's crazy.
100%. And Trubs is the only other crossover event I want to see, because he gets all the good interviews just before I get them. And I want to pin that guy and say, "Oi, I want one. Give me one exclusive." I saw him outside the event, as a matter of fact, and there was a momentary. Trying to think. You ever seen Blades of Glory at the beginning, where they're kind of like locking eyes and they're kind of giving them the weird stares? It's kind of like that. There's like an unsaid animosity.
Why did you interview me? You should have shoved the camera. You should have been interviewing everyone. Your media. You're meant to be interviewing everyone.
Here's my deal. I will say, here's my deal. I feel like I'm allowed to state my case here. I don't know if I'm allowed to necessarily do that. This is the thing. I mean, I appreciate you're saying that now. You're saying, listen, morning, noon, or night, you want to get the word out there, and that's why I appreciate you taking this interview. But I also appreciate that you don't want some numpty just going, so that was good, wasn't it? Like, you want good questions. You want the kind of questions that are going to open up doors to interesting prospects, and also hopefully not answer the same fucking question.
Then all the media guys are watching this. Be prepared to ask questions when you come to the events. You need to be putting a camera in my face and everyone's face. Listen, they're going to be fun now. The next event has got my team, Mandrill Mob. Yeah, like you see how exciting we are. Yeah, it's not going to stop. It's going to be electric. There's going to be things happening at these events, and people are going to want to hear about what happened. Get the cameras in everyone's face. Trust me, I'll be more happy if you're bothering me for an interview than if you're not, man. We need to get this back. Everyone has to put the work in. Interview these people. It's going to be electric in the building. Gemini and Koj, one of them guys have got to lose. I want to see. I want to see that guy crying on camera. I want to see Gemini with Koj crying on camera, bro. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I need to see that. So these cameras need to be in people's faces, man. We need to go now. We like you guys are just as important, if not more important. Like, so we need everyone going for this, man.
Just don't anyone ask him where the names. That's the one that gets me. Ever since I saw a guy called "So your name's Flow Rider," where does that come from?
Oh, okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I see those interviews and it breaks my fucking heart when you see it. You go, you didn't look into that before you fucking sat down with the guy?
Yeah.
It's a Quill! Where does the name come from?
Yeah.
Mate, get that fucking phone out of my goddamn face and hit up Wikipedia or YouTube. One of the two, I don't care which it is.
Yeah.
At least that would be my. I mean, dude, I get Halcyon show all the time. Dude, it's just a name. Don't sweat it. Let's just get on. let's just get on with things. But I say that concludes the interview. Unless, I mean, you want to hijack it again? I mean, I feel like
That was awesome. Yeah, no, I'm on a calm one today, but I think next time, if are you coming to the plug? Are you coming to Koj?
I'm looking at trying to get to more events now because I've bitten the bug a little bit. The plug 3 was one of those ones where I was like, I can't miss it, and I was poor Bizzo. Bizzo's tried getting me to come to a few, but they were in Manchester, and it was one of those things where it's like, it's really cold up there. It's really cold, you know what I mean? And I'm from the Midlands where it's not quite so cold, but it's that thing where I gotta be honest, having not known what to expect from a battle rap event, and now having a good expectation of what it's going to be like, man. And I'll tell people this. I mean, you're in the business of telling people, you know, you need to get. I'll tell you why. Not only are the events great, they're properly well organized. Like, people do not fuck around in terms of your safety, in terms of how people get into the events, in terms of how comfortable they make you feel. Every single person, to a man and a lady in that event, did everything they could to make sure me and my friend Ryan felt like we were part of the furniture. And the only time anyone thought right to perk up and say something was when one fucker decided to film the whole event on their fucking phone. Which is, mate, two things. Number one, it'll be on Patreon, so pay for it. Secondly, they'll release it on YouTube at one point, and you'll be in the video.
Well, someone's filming it, yeah. Don't do that, guys. Like, have a little clip, but don't be filming the whole thing.
Listen, man, I'm not judging anyone. Listen. I used Pirate Bay as a young man too, but these days you pay for premium content, and you're in the fucking content. Why would you want video footage that you're not in, idiots? Anyways, rant over. See, I'm just as bad as you. It must be an Arsenal fan thing. Anyways, final, legitimate last question. Where can people find you? Where can people see you coming forward? And what, if anything, do you want people to take right now? Last thing, see it into their minds. You cannot miss. Go.
I'll tell you that as yes, you're going to the event then.
100%. Yes.
Good, so we'll see you there. Well, I don't even remember the question now. Where can they find me? Get me on Instagram, Quill Lyrics, Twitter, Quill Lyrics. But yeah, no, don't flop. Title match, Quill versus Gem. Watch out for that end of the year. It's going to be massive. It'll be in London. It's just going to be elite versus elite. It's going to be insane. You'll catch me on Premier Battles before then against a big name, hopefully. All fingers crossed. A very big name. And
there's a glint there. There's a glint there. You all saw it. I saw it too. It's fine.
Yeah, and then 2023, fingers crossed. If we can get Don't Flop versus Premier Battles, I'll be the happiest man. And then catch me retired. Yeah, man. And Arsenal winning the league, open top bus. Yeah, man.
There you go. I was just going to say, you see the wheels. You can see. He's not giving anything away, is he? Not giving anything away, but you can just see there's something in his eye that lets you know there's big things afoot, and he's just not quite ready to let you know yet. So every reason to be excited. But on that note, sir, thank you so much for taking the time. Everybody else, are going to do our best to try and get the word out and try and get this thing moaning, because I, like a lot of people, fucking adore battle rap. It's one of the most entertaining, fun things I've ever had the privilege of witnessing, and now being privileged to be an event. And you were a massive part of that, so thank you so much.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it today. And as I said, sorry to quickly, but this Saturday, Raptor versus Koj if you're in Manchester, and then April 1st, match day too. So yeah, fire. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it, and all the kind words, man. Honestly, I appreciate it, and hopefully we're gonna have some fun throughout the year and get that camera in my face, boy.